You know, folks had, let's say, mixed reactions to the Sopranos prequel film The Many Saints of Newark, but you gotta admit, pretty fun hearing Vera Farmiga perfectly channel Livia.
Oh, poor you!
Anyway, here's a whole bunch of stuff maybe you missed in the film, or not. I mean, like, you know, you Sopranos fans you're pretty hardcore. First up, the title. Newark, of course, is Newark, New Jersey, where the film and show are set, but the Many Saints part refers not only to the characters themselves, but also the name of the main character, Dickie Montesanti, his surname literally translating to Many Saints. Of course, his son would go on to have many demons. Speaking of segues, demons, we get a few pretty big reveals about Dickie. The obvious, of course, is that his death was ordered by Junior, ending a lot of speculation about what happened all those years ago. We still don't know who exactly pulled the trigger, leaving that part up to speculation. The slightly more subtle reference, not that this is a terribly subtle film, is how the rumors started about Dickie's drug issues, something that had a life-altering effect on his son Christopher. Turns out, he wasn't a drug addict at all. The pills in his pocket were meant for Livia, whom Tony is worried isn't sleeping well, and Dickie would have given them to Tony if it weren't for the whole, you know, getting shot in the head thing.
I used to think Dickie was so strong.
You may have also noticed the way that the makeup team transformed Vera Farmiga into Livia, and the way she portrays the character gives her quite the resemblance to both older Livia and to Edie Falco's portrayal of Edie Falco's portrayal of Carmela Soprano. This, of course, plays into the old stereotype of a boy growing up to marry a woman like his mother, and you know what, for a guy who goes to therapy quite a bit, this makes all too much sense.
Gosh, I feel like a mommy.
Hey guys, can we put Tony married his mom in the thumbnail? No? Y'all are no fun. Oh, also, you see how he's looking at Hollywood Dick's new wife? Now, I'm not saying that kid was immediately just thinking, I gotta smash, but I am saying that he logged that one in the old memory bank for a whole bunch of his future conquests on the show. Such a gross joke. Yet another callback to Livia is Johnny Boy Soprano noting how great his wife is at cooking ziti, something that's brought up in The Sopranos to great comedic effect.
So what, no f***ing Ziti now?
Hey!
A few rungs down from the mystery of who killed Dickie is the question of Silvio's hair, specifically whether or not that some gun wore a rug or if that whole unnatural monstrosity was the real deal.
What, do you speak Norwegian?
While I think most of us had it pegged the second we realized it might actually consume the actor's head like some kind of morbidly obese facehugger, Many Saints of Newark puts the mystery to rest. Silvio was bald. And hey man, no shame. At least you're not balding with a massive caveman brow, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not sure I follow.
This is a super minor thing, but did you notice Tony reading historical fiction and the story of his learning about the California Gold Rush? Considering David Chase's knack for little details, this has to be a reference to his love of history, something that's not necessarily a massive part of the series, but helps sell that this is the one and only Tony Soprano.
Napoleon, the Roman Empire, the Potsdam Conference, that kind of thing.
Casting his son in the part also kind of helps. For those who somehow don't know, the 1967 Newark Riots were a very real thing that happened and resulted in 26 deaths and plenty more injuries. The inciting incident is a bit simplified compared to real life, but the basic idea of the black cabbie being beaten by police is also completely real and did spark the riots. The event was also directly referenced by a flashback in the season 1 episode Down Neck, which also features the first appearance of Johnny Soprano. While plenty of recastings of beloved characters were pretty easy to spot, just look at Silvio's less than subtle walk. That's a choice. There were a few that might have gone over your head. Specifically, Jackie Aprile Sr., the boss of the DeMeo crime family at the start of the TV series, shows up here while Tony is trying to ask for booze from Dickie. Another big boss, Jackie's predecessor, Old Man DeMeo, aka Uncle Ikalai, appears to make an appearance in Many Saints, played by none other than series creator David Chase. Now, he appears in one of the seemingly endless funeral scenes, and Johnny Boy calls him boss just before Junior says,
Exactly, that's the boy.
This marks our first ever look at the character. Now, Chase is a bit old for the part. The character who started the DeMeo crime family should be in his 40s at this point, but hey, maybe he's just really stressed. I get that. I'm only 17. Another small part is Joey Diaz as the doomed Buddha, who of course is the father of Salvatore, aka Big P. Wait, why was that bleeped? Anyway, the best part of this casting is just how much Diaz looks like Big P. Come on, guys. Come on. The actor, Vincent Pastore, it's actually kind of wild to the point you'd be forgiven for thinking Pastore had just been recast to play his own father.
Not in the face, okay?
Okay, this one is definitely not something any Sopranos fan missed, but I feel like if I don't mention it, I'll get called out. This job is full of catch-22 situations like that. Anyway, this line.
You don't have the makings of a varsity athlete.
Yep, the same taunting from Junior all those years ago. But hey, he was kind of right. Tony Soprano, always the gangster, never the college football star. Another line that you probably didn't miss because it bonked you right over the head and caved in your skull with the sheer force of its on-the-noseness is this one.
I don't know what it is. It's like a scam or something.
Some babies, when they come into the world, know all kinds of things from the other side.
So baby Christopher just knows his Uncle Tony is going to smother the life out of him at some point. Cool. Too bad he couldn't remember that one for later, or learn to keep his eyes on the road. One funny story from the series, recounted by Janice, entails Johnny Boy firing a gun through Livia's Bee Hive hairdo.
That never even happened.
And yeah, we get that in the movie. There's also Tony and Janice seeing their father arrested, a moment that's remade in Many Saints of Newark. Kinda bugs me that Johnny Boy doesn't have that quintessentially mobster blue shirt on from the show, but you know what? I'll take it. One detail that just kinda stood out to me was that the movie has another set of twins. Not those kind of sets of twins, you pervert. In the series, there are at least two sets. The Cusimano sisters, who are fairly minor characters, and the Parisis, Philly and Patsy.
Philip was my kid brother, by 11 minutes.
The former of whom was whacked by noted victim of stress, Gigi. In both cases, it was one actor playing both twins, and in Many Saints of Newark, we now infamously have the bewildering choice for Dickie's father to have an imprisoned twin brother, also played by actor who somehow never showed up in The Sopranos, Ray Liotta, owner of the world's second most iconic laugh. The first is Deborah Stipe in Tough Guys Don't Dance, by the way. We also get a glimpse of the dog Tony mentions his father bringing home in The Sopranos, which his mother demanded be gotten rid of.
Oh, this is my dog.
Probably for the best, honestly, because, just imagine little Christopher getting a hold of that pooch. So messed up. Another thing mentioned by Tony, somehow more often than his dog, actually, is weird, is getting into the patio furniture business. Most memorably, he says in season 1 that he joined the mob thinking it would be a form of rebellion.
Maybe being a rebel in my family would have been selling patio furniture on Route 22.
Now, firstly, brilliant dialogue, David, thank you so much. Secondly, the same profession is mentioned by Livia, who says she wants him to work in the patio furniture business.
He should go to work for my cousin Frank in the patio furniture business.
I never thought I'd say those 3 words in that order so many times, but here I am. Several locations from the show also make an appearance, which I was hesitant to put on this list, but also why not? This is mostly just us fun-loving kids chit-chatting about Sopranos nonsense and this kinda just okay prequel movie, so screw it. Satriale's pork store makes an appearance, as it should, since it's one of the most iconic storefronts in TV history. Eat your heart out, Quickie Mart. Another slightly less recognizable, but similarly important location is Holsten's, where famously, The Sopranos ended on one of TV's great question mark moments. In keeping with the film's love of callbacks, this is also where Tony is left waiting for Dickie after the latter is unceremoniously whacked. It's an important moment for Tony, the place where his life of crime is more or less cemented, and where it probably ended. R.I.P. Dickie, we hardly knew ye. Mostly because the movie was kind of jumbled. Oh! Straight up, I probably missed something noteworthy, so please feel free to correct that in the comments. Otherwise, you kids, you just go out there, you get yourself a cannoli, and I don't know, you think I'd be chock full of Italian stereotype jokes, but they're just not, they're not flowing right now. I might need to see a psychiatrist about that.
Don't stop